Welcome to the French Made Easy podcast, where I give you all the basics you need to speak French clearly and confidently. I'm your host, Mathilde, and I'm a French teacher, mompreneur, and bread and cheese lover. Join me as I dive into all things French for beginners and deliver to you bite-sized, easy-to-follow lessons every Tuesday. Let's get started. On commence. Hello everyone, welcome back to the French Made Easy podcast. This is episode number 76, numéro 76. So today's episode is part 2 of our lesson on how to ask questions in French. So 2 things before we start this lesson. First thing is that I won't be publishing new episodes for the next few weeks. I am working on some amazing new French Made Easy projects for you, so I need to take a mini break from the podcast to focus on this. I prefer to let everyone know in advance that it is all good. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be back on the podcast with new episodes very soon. Thing number 2 that you hear in each episode, but that's for those who are new to the podcast, make sure you have your lessons cheat sheet in front of you during the lesson. After the lesson, head over to the French Made Easy library to practice what you've learned today. And all the links are in the episode notes. So last week, we learned how to ask close-ended questions. So questions which require a yes or no answer. And this week, we'll look at open-ended questions which require specific information. Super important, if you haven't listened to part 1 yet, please go back and listen to episode number 75 first. Otherwise, you might get lost. Alright, so the good news is that for open-ended questions, the method are the exact same ones as the close-ended question that we've learned last week. We are going to use the intonation method, the est-ce que method, and the simple inversion method that we learned in the last episode. Hence why you really need to have understood part 1 of this lesson. So the difference for open-ended questions is that we're going to add interrogative words to our questions. So interrogative words or question words are words like où, which means where, quoi, which means what, quand, which means where, etc. Also, there are many rules and exceptions about interrogative words that we cannot possibly learn in one lesson, but we will learn a few exceptions that I think are important to know at this stage of your learning. So let's start with method number 1, intonation. So when using the intonation method to ask a question, you raise your voice at the end of the question. Plus, you add an interrogative word for open-ended question, usually at the end of the question. And I say usually. It looks like this. Subject, verb, interrogative word. Par exemple, tu vas où? Where are you going? Tu vas où? Tu, subject, va, conjugative verb, ou, interrogative word. Now, an important note here, with the intonation method and the interrogative word pourquoi, which means why, you need to add pourquoi at the beginning of the question, not at the end. Par exemple, pourquoi tu pleures? Why are you crying? Pourquoi tu pleures? Pourquoi, interrogative word, tu, subject, pleure, conjugative verb. Method number 2, est-ce que. So when using the est-ce que method, you add est-ce que at the beginning of a question. Plus, you add an interrogative word for open-ended questions at the beginning of the questions, before est-ce que. Looks like this. Interrogative word, est-ce que, subject, verb. Par exemple, où est-ce que tu vas? Where are you going? Où est-ce que tu vas? Où is the interrogative word. Est-ce que, tu, subject, va, conjugated verb. A reminder that before a vowel, est-ce que changes to est with an apostrophe. And another important note here, with the est que method and the interrogative word quoi, which means what, you need to change quoi to with an apostrophe. Par exemple, qu'est-ce que tu manges? What are you eating? Qu'est-ce que tu manges? Don't say quoi est-ce que tu manges? That's incorrect. Qu'est-ce que tu manges? Method number 3, simple inversion. When using the simple inversion method, you switch the order between the subject pronoun and the verb. Plus, you add a hyphen in between the subject pronoun and the verb. Plus, you add an interrogative word for open-ended questions at the beginning of the sentence. It looks like this. Interrogative word, verb, hyphen, subject pronoun. Par exemple, où vas-tu? Where are you going? Où vas-tu? Où, interrogative word, va, conjugative verb, hyphen, tu, subject pronoun. Now, with the simple inversion method and the interrogative word quoi, which means what, you need to change quoi to que, Q-U-I. Par exemple, que manges-tu? What are you eating? Que manges-tu? Don't write quoi manges-tu. That's incorrect. And I say right because, as we've seen in last week's episode, this method is mainly used in formal writing. Okay, so I think that's enough rules for today. So let's just do a quick recap of this lesson. So the method to ask open-ended questions are the exact same ones as the close-ended questions, but you add a question word or an interrogative word. Method number 1, intonation. Raise your voice at the end of the question and add an interrogative word, usually at the end of the question. Tu vas où? Where are you going? Tu vas où? Method number 2, est-ce que. Add est-ce que at the beginning of a question and add an interrogative word before est-ce que. Où est-ce que tu vas? Where are you going? Où est-ce que tu vas? Method number 3, simple inversion. Switch the order between the subject pronoun and the verb with a hyphen in between. Plus, add an interrogative word at the beginning of the sentence. Où vas-tu? Where are you going? Où vas-tu? And that's it, everyone. That is the end of today's lesson. Obviously, feel free to re-listen to this episode as many times as you need. Remember to go and download your exercises so you can practice what you've learned today. Without practice, it is a bit hard to retain. If you've enjoyed today's lesson, then please let me know in the comments on my website. Now, a quick reminder, I won't be publishing new episodes for the next few weeks, but don't worry, I'll be back very soon. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt. Hey, it's me again. Before you go, I just wanted to let you know that if you are struggling with French pronunciation, I am excited to announce my new and free beginner's audio guide. It's called 5-Step Roadmap to Effortless French Pronunciation. It's really designed to simplify your French pronunciation journey and to make it less overwhelming for you. So if you are a beginner starting or restarting to learn French and you want to improve your French pronunciation, then this audio guide is perfect for you. And obviously, you'll also get a transcript with the audio guide so you can follow along while you listen. So click the link inside your podcast notes to access your audio guide. It is free. À bientôt. Bye.